Yeah, hi guys, welcome to the final session of our coordinate geometry. We are going to pick up where we had left yesterday. We had some sums there that were left, and due to some technical issue our class had ended abruptly. So I'm going to pick up from there. We are going to have some sums that were left. If we had just time yesterday, so we could have focused on the chapter 4, that should have begun today. But no worries, I will be beginning your chapter 4 tomorrow. We will be starting a chapter 4 from tomorrow. But now we are going to focus on the remaining sums. Those are very important. That's why I've chose to invest one more day here. So this will be the case here. We are going to start it now. So remember, you should be remembering each and everything from your earlier classes. So you should be remembering what is inside your coordinate geometry, what are the graphs, what is the value, how you are going to plot a coordinate, what is that. So all of those things were discussed in our earlier classes. So I'm not going to revise each and everything right now. We are just going to focus on our sums that are remaining. So let's start with those. If you have any doubt in any concept that has been discussed earlier, you can just go back to those videos, find that on our channel, or you can just log on to our website. You can have the recorded classes there as well. So you just have to log in there and you just have to get yourself registered. So you go there, get yourself registered, or you can just go to our YouTube channel and then get those earlier classes also. So you can just go there. I'm going to move forward and let's start with this one. So we had the 17th question now with us. It is this one. Read the given graph and answer the following questions. You have to do what? You have to study this graph deeply and then you have to complete this table. Okay. Now guys, see, I can see a point A which has coordinates negative 3 comma 0. Then I have a point B which has coordinates negative 1 comma 0. Then I have this point C which has coordinates 3 comma 0. Then I have D which has coordinates 6 comma 0. Then 9 comma 0 and F. I have what? It should be 11 comma 3. That should be somewhere here. So it is not here. This point is not here. It is actually here, 11 comma 3. If it has to be here, then it should be 11 comma 0. You guys remember, if a point is lying on your x-axis, then it should be having coordinates like this, a comma 0 type, right? There should be some value of x, but there won't be any value of y. So that is the point here. Now we had been given that there was a point f whose coordinates were 11 comma 3. So it cannot lie on your x-axis. It will be lying here. So I hope you guys get this. This is your point f, which is 11 comma 3. Now we have to do what? We have to just study them and we have to just write and complete this whole table. Now you guys see, where is point A? We have to write its location. Now you guys see, it is where? It is on our x-axis, and specifically it is on our negative x-axis. So its location is what? It is negative x-axis, right? Then what are the coordinates of this one? You can see it is negative 3 comma 0. You just have to study the graph and answer the questions. These are quite easy. You can just easily do them on your own too. Now you guys see, let's just move forward. This is the black ink. We have to write abscissa and we have to write ordinate. Now you guys remember, x was your abscissa and y was your ordinate, right? So for the case of A, your first one is x and next one is y, and you can remember that general coordinates, they are of this form, x comma y, right? Remember this. This is very important. This should be used in a chapter 4 also, and this will be carried on to your class 10 also. There you will be remembering this one. You have to plot graphs there as well. So just remember this. Your first one is x and second one is your y, if you are dealing with graphs. Now guys, see, my abscissa here will be what? It will be negative 3, and my ordinate will be what? It will be 0. Then we have to focus on our B. Now guys, see, B is yet on negative side, negative x, and its coordinates are negative 1 comma 0. So location is again negative x-axis, or you can do what? You can write it like this: 1 units on the left hand side of 0, or your origin. So that will be the point here. So negative x-axis coordinates are minus 1 comma 0. Then abscissa will be what? A negative 1, and ordinate will be what? It will be 0. Then if I focus on our point C, now you guys see, it is on the positive x-axis. So location is positive x-axis and coordinates are 3 comma 0. Abscissa is 3, ordinate is 0. Then you have what? You have your point D. D is again on positive x-axis. Coordinates are, now you can see, it is 6 comma 0, right? Abscissa will be 6 and ordinate will be 0. Then you have E. E is what? E is again on positive x-axis, right? Now it has coordinates 9 comma 0, and its abscissa is 9 and ordinate as 0. Now for the case of f, you guys see it is not on your x-axis. You guys see it has coordinates 11 comma 3, and both of them are positive. X and y are positive, so it should be in what? It should be in your first quadrant. So it is in first quadrant. Coordinates are 11 comma 3, abscissa is 11 and ordinate is 3. So this is the complete formation of your table right here, complete information that you have put after studying your graph deeply. Now we have the B part here, which is what are the coordinates of a general point on x-axis? If there is any point that is lying on your x-axis, so what should be the general form? You guys remember, any point on x-axis, that will be like this, a comma 0, right? It should be of this form. So its coordinates will be what? A comma 0. So I hope you guys understand this and you guys remember this one. So this will be the case. If they had asked you that what are the coordinates of the general point on y-axis, then they would have been like this, 0 comma b, or you can say 0 comma a. Now a can be negative as well, so you can say positive and negative. In both cases it can be positive and negative, a comma 0 or 0 comma positive and negative a. That means the point can be on positive x-axis or the point can be on negative x-axis. Similarly, it can be on positive y or it can be on negative y. So that is the point here. If you want to put it like this, you can write it like this, plus minus a comma 0. So it can happen. So that is the meaning here. Now let's see what do we have in our 18th sum. So we have to do what? We have to plot these points and we have to use suitable units for the distance on axis. Now guys, see, they have asked you to choose any of the intervals, any distances between the two intervals. So I can see there is not much, not larger values here. There's just 1, 2, 3 kind of like that. So I can take a distance of 1 unit, or you can say 1 centimeter on graph. So a graph paper will be looking like this while you're doing it on your graph paper. So you guys see, I can see the maximum value of x is what? It is a positive 2 and minimum is negative 4. While in the case of y, maximum value is 2 and minimum value is negative 5. So you guys see, my graph should be looking like this. Since we are going deep into the y-axis downwards, so it will be negative 1, a negative 2, a negative 3, a negative 4, and finally a negative 1. So negative 5, then this is 1, that is 2. This is y-axis here and that is x-axis here. So 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and minus 4. So my first coordinate is minus 1 comma 0. So it is what? It is having a value of x, but it does not have any y. So that means it will be lying on our x-axis. So that is the point right here, minus 1 comma 0. Let's name this one as our a. Then we have 2 comma negative 5. Now horizontal distance is 2 units. That means this. Vertical distance is 5 units downwards. So it should be what? 2 is here, 5 is here. So it should be somewhere here. So this is the point. Let's say this is P point whose coordinates are 2 comma negative 5, right? Then we have negative 4 comma 2. Now we are moving 4 units on the left hand side and 2 units upward. So 4 on the left, 2 on the up, 2 on the right. So it should be this one. Let's say this is the point C whose coordinates are negative 4 comma 2. Then we have what? 2 comma 1. We are going, it is 2 comma 1. We are going 2 units on the right hand side and 1 unit upwards. So it should be this point right here. So this will be what? This will be a point, let's say D, whose coordinates are 2 comma 1. And lastly you have what? 3 units on the left hand side and 2 units vertically up. 3 units on the left, 2 units vertically up. So that should be the point right here, which is, let's say, E point whose coordinates are minus 3 comma 2. So I hope you guys understand this. So these are the points that have been plotted on your graph. Now you can see these are the points right here. You can just either use your dotted lines, or if you are drawing on a graph paper, then you don't have to use dotted lines. You can just plot the point exactly like that. You just have to look for your horizontal distances and vertical distances. So in the case of this one, I had a horizontal distance of 2 units and vertical distance of vertical distance, that means I was going 5 units downwards since I was having a negative 5. So I will be moving downwards 5 units. So I got my point, which was right here. So you can plot them like this. I hope you don't have any doubt in this, right? Now we have the 19th question. It is very important. Remember, this is very important. We have this one. Plot the following points and verify if they lie on a line. If they lie on a line, name it. Now you have to verify after plotting these points whether they are lying on a straight line. If they are lying on a straight line, then you have to name that line. If they are not lying on a straight line, then you won't be naming that. So it is quite easy. Just remember, they should be having something common. Either their x value should be same or either their y value should be same. If they are having any of the two values constant for every coordinate, then they will be lying on the same line. See, if I just do what, let me just give you an example for this one. Let's say I do what, I just plot a graph right here. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and let's say 1, 2, 3 and 4. I'm going to do what? I'm going to assume, firstly I'm going to do what? I'm going to draw a line x equals to 4. So you guys see there should be a line which will be passing x-axis at 4. So I can see 4 is here, so that this will be the line right here, right? So this is the line. Now you can see on this line, I can have a 1 also. If I draw a line from this 1, that means a line. Now you guys see here, should remember this one. We are drawing this line. Now you guys see, while you have been given any value of x, you get a line which is parallel to y-axis. When you have been given x equals to a, there will be a line which will be parallel to y-axis, and when you have been given y equals to a, then there will be a line parallel to x-axis. Now you guys see, if I had y equals to 1, then that the meaning of that portion was that we should be having a line that will be passing our y-axis at 1 unit. You guys see, this will be the line which will be passing y-axis at 1 unit, and it will be intersecting our line which was x equals to 4 at this point. This point right here is what it is, 4 comma 1. Similarly, there should be another line, so it will be what, 4 comma 2. Then it can be a line which should be passing through 3, then it can be 4 comma 3. Similarly, you can have as many points, but you can see while I'm just moving on this line, I'm moving on x equals to 4, I can have any value of y, and all of those points will be lying on this axis, this line. That means if I plot 4 comma 1, if I plot 4 comma 2, if I plot 4 comma 3, and if I plot 4 comma 4, all of these points will be on this line. You can just verify this one, right? So remember, while you are dealing with a situation where you have to verify that the given points will be lying on a straight line, then you have to look for your x-axis or your y-axis. That means your abscissa or ordinate. If all the points are sharing the same abscissa or all the points are sharing the same ordinate, then that means they will be falling on the same line. That means if you look here, we have a 0x, 0x, 0x and 0x. So all of these points will be lying on the same line. Now you can guess this one without even plotting this. So you guys see, if you look at this one, 0 comma 2, it is of this form, 0 comma a. Now you guys remember, you don't have any value of x, but you do have a value of y. So when you don't have any x and you do have a y, that line at that point falls on your y-axis. So if you don't have any value of one axis, then the point will be on the another axis. That means the opposite one. So if we don't have any x, the point will be on y-axis. Now you can see, I don't have any x here, right? So this should be on y-axis. This will again be on y-axis. That will again be on y-axis, and that will again be on y-axis. Now you guys see, all of these points are lying on just a y-axis. So you can see they will be lying on the same line. You can just name that line on your own. Just do what? Name your first point and name your last point. So I hope you guys will be able to solve this one. This is quite easy, right? Now let's just do a few parts of this one. I'm going to do a part first, and let's say I will be doing a part first. So firstly, let's plot our part first. For this, I'm going to do what? Let's just draw our graph like here. Okay, let's say this is a Cartesian plane. X is 1, 2, 3, y is 1, 2, and maximum value is 6. So let's just contract this one a bit so that we don't get a graph which is exceeding our space here. So let's just do what? This is the case. Let's say this is 1, that is 2, that is 3, that should be 4, that should be 5, and that should be 6. Now you have to plot a point which is 0 comma 2. There is no x, but there is a y, so it should be lying on y axis. So the point should be this one. Let's say this is the point A, which is 0 comma 2. Then we have to plot a 0 comma 5. So 0 comma 5 should be right here. Let's say this is the point B, which is 0 comma 5. Then we have a 0 comma 6, that should be here. Let's say this is the point C, which is 0 comma 6, and lastly we have 0 comma 3.5. So 0 is right here, 3.5 should be in the middle. So let's say this is the point D, which will be 3.5, right? So it should be here. This will be 3.5. Now guys, see, I have to name this line. So this should be what? Let's say the name is AC, since this is our first point and that is our last point of this one. So that will be AC, or you can say just y-axis. but we do have to name them. So name that line. So we are going to name it RAC. So I hope you guys understand this. Now similarly, you can look at a second part here. So if you look at this one, so if I just erase this, if you look at this one, you have what? One is same, one is same, one is same, one is same. So you guys see both of your x's are same. That means it is sharing the same or same abscissa, but the ordinates are different. So that will be what? It should be looking like this. Now you guys see, if you just plot this one, a line is passing through x equals to 1. It should be like this, and all of the points will be lying on this line, right? If you want to plot this, let's see. This is your origin. Let's say this is 1, a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So I have to plot a point which is 1 unit on the right hand side and 1 unit upward. So that should be the point, right? This is, let's say, A, which is 1 comma 1. Then I have B, which should be 1 units on the right and 2 units upwards. So it should be this one. Let's say this is the point B, which is 1 comma 2. Similarly, this will be 1 comma 3. This will be 1 comma 4. And you can plot as many points as you want on this line. Each of them is sharing the same or same abscissa, right? So it will be like this. I hope you guys remember. And always remember, if you have same abscissa, then the line will be parallel to x-axis. If you have the same ordinate, then the line will be parallel to x-axis. If abscissa is same, line is parallel to y-axis. If ordinate is same, then line is parallel to x-axis. Questions can be asked on this just for 1 mark or 2 mark if you just want to check your knowledge. Then remember, abscissa is same, line is parallel to y-axis. If ordinate is same, then line will be parallel to x-axis. In that case, in the case of same abscissa, line will be vertical. In the case of ordinate, line will be horizontal. So that is the point right here. You can just verify this one. Now in your third part, you can see we are sharing the same ordinate right here. 3, 3, 3 and another 3. Now you guys see ordinates are same. So they will be having what? There will be a line which will be parallel to x-axis, right? Since ordinates are same. Now in this one, you can see none of the points are same. You don't have any common abscissa or ordinate. Now let's just verify whether they are lying on the same line. They can lie on the same line. In that case, that line can be a straight line also. So remember, if they are sharing the same abscissa or ordinate, that is truly a line which should be, that means those points will be lying on the same line. But if you have something like this, and in that case, you just have to verify whether they are forming even a straight line also. They can form like this. They can form a slope. So that can also happen for these kind of things. You just have to plot them and then you have to check them. But while you have been given the same ordinate or abscissa, they will be lying on the same line. Always remember that case. Now let's just plot our last part. We have what? Let's just do it. I can see I don't have any negative values, so I'm going to skip those parts. I can see the maximum value of x is 6 right here, and maximum value of y is also 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Now we have to plot 2, 6. 2 units on the right, 6 units upward. So point should be here, right? Let's say 2, 6. 3 units on the right, 5 units upwards. Let's say this is the point which is W. And now let's plot our x point. 3 right, 5 upwards. It should be here. That should be x. 3, 5. Then we have what? 5, 3. 5 right, 3 upwards. It should be here. So let's say this is point y, which is 5, 3. And lastly, we have what? 6, 2. 6 right, 2 upwards. It should be here. Let's say this is z, 6, 2. Now guys, see a line is going like this. Firstly, then it will be moving, then it will be going down. So guys, see this is not a straight line. So they are not lying on a straight line, they are lying in a curve. So remember, this will not be the case. These 3 will be the case. Also, that could have happened if they had something like this. Let's say a 2, 6, a 3, 5, a 4, 4, and let's say a 5, 3, a 6, 2. Then all of the points will be lying like this. So that can also happen. For that case, you just have to keep in mind, if you have something like this, AB, then next will be BC, then next will be CD, then next will be DA, and you can just do it like this. So if they are going in increasing order, then there will be something else. Let's say it is E. So if these are same, then again that will be a slope. So you can just verify this on your own. You can just assume any values. If you can plot these 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5, plot them and let me know if that is the case or not. So let's move forward. And we have this question now. This is one of the important questions right here. We were discussing the concept of collinearity. Do you guys remember that? I had told you that if all of the points are lying on the same line, then they are collinear. Now in this case, you just have to check whether the lines are collinear or not, or whether the points are collinear or not. Then you have to do what? You have to just plot them and you have to verify whether they are collinear or not. Now let's see. If I do what? If I just start with the first part, I can see the maximum value of y is 3 and maximum value of x is 1. And we do have negative values also. So let's just draw it like this: a 1, a negative 1, 1, 2, 3, and negative 1, negative 2, and let's say a negative 3. So we have the first point 1 comma 3. 1 is here, 3 is here. Our point will be this one. Then we have negative 1 comma negative 1. Our point will be this one. And lastly, we have negative 2 comma negative 3. We do have a negative 2, negative 2 comma negative 3. So our point will be this one. Now you have to do what? You have to just join them. If they lie on the same line, and I can see they actually are. So if they are lying on the same line, then you can say they are collinear. If they are forming a curve, then they are not collinear. Now in this case, it seems like they are on the same line. Now you can just remember this, you can just draw this on your graph paper and you can just verify whether they are lying in a straight line, then you can say they are collinear. If they are lying in a curve like this, something like this, if the line is bending over somewhere, then you can say this is not a straight line, that is actually a curve, then they are not collinear. Collinearity always exists when there is a straight line, not a curve. That is the point to be noted here. Now I'm going to erase this one and let's just verify our second part. So I can see again we have the maximum value of x2 and minimum value of x to be minus 1, and in case of y we have the maximum minimum value negative 3. So let's just plot this: 1 2 negative 1 negative 2 and negative 3, 1 2 negative 1 and a negative 2. So you guys see negative 1 comma negative 2, our point should be here. Then we have what? 2 comma negative 3, 2 is here, negative 3 is here. Then we have what? 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1, which is here. Now you guys see we are getting a triangle kind of figure which is not a straight line. All of these 3 points are not lying on the same line, then they are not collinear. Now for the last one, you can just verify this. Let me just erase this and let's just extend our figure. So 3 4 5, 3 4, and let's say that is 5. So 0 0, that should be the point which is here. 2 2, that should be the point which is here. 5 5, that should be the point which should be here. So you guys see this is lying on the same line. And you guys remember I had told you that these kind of lines are generally of these equations when y is equal to x or x is equal to y or x is equal to ay. That means a being any natural number or whole number. If you have something like this, if you have x equals to a comma y, then if you assume any value of y, that will be same as your x. If you have x equals to y, let's just say if I assume y minus 1, then x also is minus 1. So our point should be this one, then this will be that one, and you can see the line will be like this. It will always be passing through origin. This is a major concept for your chapter 4 that we are going to start tomorrow. So remember, this is a very important concept that you are going to learn in your next chapter. But if you can remember till then remember this: if you have something like this, if you have the values of x and y, that means your abscissa and ordinates are exactly same. That means your equation should be like this: either x will be equal to y or y will be equal to x, or x will be equal to some value multiplied by y. That means a being any coefficient, that can be any integer, that can happen here, or you can say a can be any real number. That will be the point right here. I hope you guys remember this. Now let's see our 30th one. Without plotting the points, indicate the quadrants in which they will lie. I don't have to plot them, I have to just figure out in which quadrant would they be. Now you guys see ordinate is 5 and abscissa is 3. Now you guys see you have been given your ordinate. Ordinate is 5 and abscissa is 3. Ordinate is 5, abscissa is negative 3. So negative 3 comma 5, that will be where? You guys see negative x comma y, that will be in your second quadrant, right? Actually we don't use individual Romans, so it should be in your second quadrant. Now abscissa is negative 5 and ordinate is negative 3. So this is second. If you have both x and y negative, then it will be in your third quadrant. Then you have what? Abscissa negative 5, y 3. So this will again be where? It will be in second because x is negative. Now in last part, Ordinate is 5, abscissa is 3. You guys see 3 and 5 both are positive, so they will be in your first quadrant. Now, in which quadrant on which axis each of the following points will lie? You just have to verify this one. A negative x comma y, second quadrant. X comma negative y, that should be fourth quadrant, right? Then we have what? 2 comma 0. You guys see we have x, we don't have any y, so that will be x-axis, right? Then we have 2 comma 2, both of them are positive, so first quadrant. Both of them are negative, quadrant. So you guys see we just, without even plotting them, got the quadrants or the x's which they were lying on. So I hope you guys remember this, right? This is quite easy. So let's see what do we have next. It is this one. Again, an important question. In the figure below, LM is a line parallel to y-axis at a distance of 3 units. This is the line which is parallel to y-axis. It is at a distance of 3 units. What are the coordinates of point PRQ? What is the difference between abscissa of the points L and M? You have to find out the distance between L and M. That is the point here. Now, guys, see. Let's just verify this one. So, guys, see, I have told you that if you are dealing with this one, this kind of thing. So, if you have a line which is parallel to y-axis, then I had told you, then value of x is fixed. Now, guys, see, for each and every point of these, you will be having a common x, which will be 3. Now, let's verify for the y. I am 4 units upward, that should be 4. I am 2 units upward, that should be 2. I am 1 units downward, that means negative 1. I have 3 units downward, that means negative 3. So, these are the coordinates that we had to find out. Now, we have to find out the difference between abscissa point L and M. Both of them are sharing the same abscissa. Their difference will be what? It will be 0. So, I hope you guys remember and you don't have any doubt in this, right? So, this was quite easy. Now, let's see what do we have in our next part. Let's move forward and see. Yeah, this is the question. Which of the following points will lie on y-axis? Now you have to verify which of the points will lie on y-axis. So for this, you guys remember 0 comma a kind of thing. If you have something like this, if you have a thing which is 0 comma a kind of thing, then you can say that point will be lying on which axis? That point will be lying on your y-axis. So you guys see, you just have to look for the coordinates which do not have any x, but they do have some y. So you guys see, both of them are present, will not be lying on y-axis. One is present, but that is x, will not be lying on y-axis. X is 0, y is present, so it should be lying on your y-axis. Both of them are 0. This is exactly origin. Then we do have a negative 0 and a negative 1. It will be on y-axis. Negative 1 comma y, negative 1 comma 0. We do have a x, but we don't have any y. So that means this x will not cut out, so it will be on x-axis. We don't need that. In this case, we do have a 0x and a positive y, that means 5. So it will be lying on your y-axis. And in this case, again, we have an x, we don't have a y. So this will be lying on x-axis, and that is not required here. And in this case, you guys see both of the values are present. It will be exactly in your one of the quadrants. So specifically, it will be in your first quadrant, right? So you can easily do this one. Now let's move forward and see what do we have now. So we have the 34th question with us. It is this one. Plot the points x comma y given by the following tables. Use scale 1 centimeter equals to 0.25. Now you have to do what? You have to use the scale which should be a 0.25 units. Since you can see we are dealing with decimals, so let's just draw a graph right here. So I can see y has a maximum value of 1.5 and minimum of 0.5, which is negative. So I'm going to do it here. Let's just plot this. This will be a 0.25, that will be a 0.5, that will be 0.75, and that will be a 1.00, right? Then in the case of x, a 0.25, a 0.50, a 0.75, a 1.00, a 1.25, a 1.50, and we will be having what? A 1.75, which is the maximum value. Sorry, that is the minimum value right here, which that should be in your x, negative x, so it should be minus 0.25, that will be 0.50, that should be negative, then negative 0.75, then negative 1.00, then negative 1.25, negative 1.50, and lastly negative 1.75. and in the case of your negative y, it should be negative 0.25 and negative 0.50. Now you have to plot 1.25 and negative 0.5. So you guys see 1.25, that is here, and negative 0.50, that is here. So this is the point. Then we have 0.25 and a 1. 0.25, 1 should be here. So that is the point. Then we have what? 1.5 and 1.5. 1.5, actually we have to move forward. So yeah, this should be 1.25, and let's say this is the point, which is 1.50. Okay, I did not see this one. So 1.5 is here and 1.5 should be here. So our point should be this one. This is 1.5 comma 1.5, right? That point is what? This point right here, this is 0.25 comma 1. This point right here, 1.25 comma 0.50, which is negative. And lastly, we have to plot what? A negative 1.75, it should be this one, and a negative 0.25, that should be this point. So coordinates are what? Negative 1.75 and negative 0.25. So I hope you guys understand how you're going to use your scale, which is 0.25 units. This is quite easy. I hope you guys remember this and you don't have any doubt in this. So let's just follow up and see our 35th question. A point lies on your x-axis at a distance of 7 units from y. See, a point is lying on x-axis, let's say this is the case, 7 units from y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now you guys see it is lying on this, so it should be 7, 0. For target's coordinates, we got that 7, 0. What will be the coordinates if it lies on y-axis at a distance of negative 7 from x-axis? Or you can say negative 7 from origin. So you guys see, if I just move downwards, it will be like this, 0, negative 7. Right? We are moving 7 units downwards, and that will be the case. The point is lying on a y-axis, so it should not be having any x. So it will be 0, negative 7, and on x-axis, it will be 7, 0. Now we have the 36th question. It is this one. See, which lies on x-axis, x and y-axis both. I have to write the coordinates of a point. Now guys, see, if a point lies on x-axis, it will be a, 0, and if a point lies on y-axis, it will be 0, a. And you can write this one also 0 like this. Let's just write them like this: positive and negative a, 0, and 0, positive and negative a. So this can happen also. You can write positive and negative because we do have a negative x and negative y also. So it cannot be always positive, it has to be negative also. So it can be negative. Now you guys see, we have the next one whose ordinates are ordinate is negative 4 and is lying on y-axis. Ordinate is negative 4 and lying on y-axis. We don't have any x. Ordinate is negative 4, so that should be the coordinate. Abscissa is 5, lying on x-axis, so it should be what? 5, 0. So quite easy, right? So positive and negative a, 0 if it is lying on x. If it is lying on y, 0, positive and negative a. So that can happen here. I hope you guys understand this. So taking 1 centimeter as 1 unit, plot the following points. So sorry, 0.5. Taking 0.5 centimeters as 1 unit, you have to plot these points. So now you guys see this is quite easy. You just have to take the interval of 0.5 units. So you guys see 8 will be lying on your 16th position, 3 will be lying on your 6th position, 2 will be lying on your 4th position. So you can just easily plot them, right? Now I'm going to start with our 38th question. This is very important. So see, in our 38th question, we have what? Let's see. It is this one. Plot the points P, Q, and S and find the coordinates of R such that PQRS is a square. So let's just plot this one and find out the remaining coordinates. So this is the case. Maximum value of x is 4 and maximum value of y is 3. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4, 3, 2 and 1. So 1, 0, that should be here. Then we have what? 4, 0, that should be here. Then we have 1, 3, that should be here. And you guys see, if I just extend this line, a line passing through 3 and line passing through 4. So you guys see they will be intersecting where? That will be intersecting at this point. Let me just erase this and draw the line. So if I just draw a line which should be cutting our x, y equals to 3, that should be x equals to 4. It will be lying at this point. So coordinates will be what? 3, 4. Sorry, 4, 3. We have x, which is 4. So it should be what? 4 units on the right, 3 units upward. So 4, 3. Its coordinates are 1, 3. Its coordinates are 1, 0, and it has 4, 0. Now you can just see Vertical distance 3 units. Distance between these two 4 minus 1, that should be 3 units. Vertical distance 3 units. Distance between these two 3 units. And you guys see each of them is sharing an angle of 90 degree because x's are always perpendicular to each other. The coordinates of point R, that should be what? That should be 4 comma 3. I hope you guys understand this and you don't have any doubt in this, right? So this is how you're going to find out the coordinates of the remaining point. I hope you guys don't have any doubt in this. Now let's see what do we have for the next part. It is a 39th question. It is similar. You have to, these are the vertices of your rectangle. So you just have to find out the fourth quad. That will be what? You can just easily solve this, right? You can easily solve this one. Just draw your graph, plot the points, and similarly like we have done earlier, you can just find out the vertices of your fourth point, sorry, the coordinates of your fourth vertex. Similarly, you can do this one. Both of them are rectangle. Then remember, opposite sides of rectangle are equal. That means whatever the length of this side is, that should be same as that one. This is the case, and that should be same here. So you guys see that will be the point. I hope you guys remember this. So you can just do these two questions on your own. You can just write them down in your notebook, or you can just do them on your own. I hope you guys remember this, right? Now in last one, we have this one. ABCD is a square like the one we have done earlier. You just have to do it like this. Now you guys see, you can just plot the graph, plot the points, and get the fourth vertex. This will be quite easy. See 5 comma 3. So 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3, and we have a -2 and -1 and a -2, and we have what of -4 also, -1, -2, -3, and -4. Just plot them. So first is 5 comma 3. 5 is here, 3 is here. That will be the point right here. Then we have -2 comma 3, -2, 3. Then we have 5 comma -4. That should be here. Then ultimately you can see the line will be passing through this point. Line will be meeting this point. So you guys see this will be what? A -2 comma -4. Right. So you have your square and you have the remaining coordinates of C, which are -2 comma -4. So I hope you guys understand this and you don't have any doubt in this. So this is the similar question, I guess. Yeah, that is similar. So let's just. So with this, our video ends here. We have just completed our chapter 3 also. So by now you should be able to recall each and everything that you have learned in your first 3 chapters. You should be taking your own test, so you can just follow up our test series. You can just practice as much as you can on our website. Also, you can just join there. Then you can have as many sums as you want for practice. So math is typically everything that you have to do. In maths, you have to deal with only practice sums. So always remember, this is nothing like you're cramming something. You just have to do practice on your own, so that you guys know what should you be doing in your examination. If you have some question which is based on some concepts, then you have initially practiced. So remember, you have to practice as much as you can. You do have to learn formulas also, but in maths, in this case, formulas are just cramming portion, but everything else is a practice based. So remember, you have to practice. Now till your next class, practice as much as you can. I will be bringing up your chapter 4 tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, and bye for now. Practice and practice.